Hi, my name is Ilene Rein from Pounding Pavement 101. I'm an executive recruiter and a job search strategist, and I am here today with my superstar client, Nick, who just landed his dream job. So, Nick, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Nick. I've been working with Eileen since I think it was April. And it's now August, and I've just accepted a job. I'm going to be starting next month, and I'm going to be a technical program manager at Google again.
Fantastic. So let's talk about this process. Okay. So in the beginning, when we first got together and we first spoke, what was your situation? What happened?
So I'd been laid off in January. I had applied to, I think it was about 15 jobs, and it was then April. And I had gotten some traction with like a couple of them, but um I really I really didn't know. Like I've had one job since college. I didn't really know how to look for a job other than I have a resume. I apply to a post. I wait to hear back. Like I didn't have a sense of scale or a sense of like if it's not working, how do I diagnose that? How do I troubleshoot that? Like how do I engage with this process in a way that like builds momentum?
So, how did we connect?
So we connected through First Robotics.
So we're going to do a
We
little plug for First Robotics. So anyone here who has not checked out First Robotics, go to the website firstinspires.org and you can volunteer or get your children involved because it is an organization started by Dean Kamen to inspire children into STEM fields. Okay, a little plug for First. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So we're both frequent first volunteers. Part of the same community. I knew who you were. I think it was that I saw one of your posts on LinkedIn. I think that was the spark. But I saw that I was in a place where I really like needed that information. I started looking into the program. I got time with you. It was right before the first championship where everybody in the community comes together, and it just clicked. It was just right. So we met up there. One of your previous clients is somebody who I had volunteered with before. I talked to him. I'm like, okay, this is a good fit. So I started your program, learned a bunch from that, and I think really like the key to me was not so much, here's the basics, here's the perspective, but like that's kind of a building block and a stepping off point. And it was really like working with you and like working on my resume together, like iterating through everything that I think really was the key.
Yeah, this is really a full program. And I have a lot of people coming to me and say, Eileen, I need a resume. Yeah, you do need a resume, but it's just one tool in the toolbox to get you to where you want to be. Okay, but then we were working on the other pieces of a job search. Okay, the interview preparation. How did you feel about the interview preparation after you went through it in comparison to how you were interviewing before?
I I think a lot of like what you were recommending was really like helping me to do my own thinking through of how to approach it. Because I think and maybe part of it is the tech field just being kind of its own unique thing. But maybe this is true in other fields as well. But like a lot of it was I have to understand and like think through how I'm approaching the role specific questions, but also like dealing with those icebreakers and thinking about how to deal with questions that you're not expecting. And I think that that's a lot of what you contributed. And we were able to kind of like work together and bring your style and like what I knew and what I needed and bring that together. And that synthesis, I think
Well, and
really
it
made me
really, go ahead.
confident, calm, and ready.
Yeah, I prepare you based on what are the recruiters actually listening for in your responses, and that's the difference. So this way, when you walk into that interview, you are prepared for anything that is thrown at you. And it's a little different than all that generic advice out there. And there's plenty of generic advice out there, but it focuses you and gets you prepared. But then we moved on to that third piece. Okay, and this is what everyone forgets as they're job searching because yes, you need the resume, you need your LinkedIn profile, it's personal branding. You need to prepare for the interview, but you need a strategic plan as you're attacking the job market. And most people don't think that through as they're going through the process because I want to get the job search working on all cylinders. So this way it goes faster. That's the whole goal here. The goal is not a marathon that it takes you a year to find a job. The goal is to find a job as fast as possible. And Nick, I went back to through our statistics, and from the beginning, when you signed on with the program, not when we launched the job search, but when we signed on with the program to the day of your signing of your letter. So not the background checks or all that.
Yep, yep.
106 days.
Wow.
It probably felt like longer, but it was only 106 days.
Yeah, that was, I mean, I think in a tough market. And I've seen, there are communities of like other people kind of going through this. And like I've seen people still looking well over a year into it. Like in a tough market, I'm pretty proud of that. 106 days is not bad.
Not bad. And think about this, all those people that you're saying who have been unemployed, and I saw one on LinkedIn this morning that still is unemployed after 3 years. Every day they're not working, they're losing money. So if we do the math at the lowest common denominator, if a starting salary is $50,000 a year, your take home is about $4,000 a month. So that means every month you're not working, you are losing $4,000. And if you keep going on and on and on after a year, again, you're losing that $50,000. What happens if your salary is in the $100,000 range? It's $100,000. What if it's in the $200,000? That's a lot of money to be losing, or at least putting at risk and not investing in yourself to increase your chances of becoming employed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like hopefully some of them are like investing in their skills and growth, but I think a lot of them are kind of where I was in February and March and just kind of lost, adrift at sea, trying to find a way to moor themselves to a job, but not not adequately navigating.
Well, you were brilliant. You reached out for expert advice and expert assistance. So, Nick, I'm going to ask you, for all the people who are watching this video, what would you recommend to them without giving away any super secret ninja secrets?
I think I think what I'm gonna say is like really, really like trusting the process, having a strong strategy. Like I think working with Eileen has been to me like a really good way to get there. But like having a clear strategy and really, really hitting it, really pounding pavement, as you say, like playing the numbers game and having a good way to learn from what you're doing is key.
Yeah, having that strategy in place really makes a difference. It's the chemical reaction between the three steps, but also it's a very lonely process when you're doing it by yourself. And having someone who has expert guidance to bounce ideas off of, to ask questions, to give the answers based on years of knowledge, that certainly comes in handy and helps you, if nothing else, with the mindset of job searching.
Absolutely. And I think there's kind of a classic like accountability strategy and like motivation. There's Parkinson's law,
You
where the
better
work will
believe
expand
it.
to fill the time. But when you're unemployed, that's infinite. Like you need some sort of like way to motivate yourself and keep yourself accountable. And I think like the cadence of weekly meeting with you really structurally helped me in that way as well.
That's wonderful to hear because, yeah, I want this to be a sprint, not a marathon. Nick, I thank you so much for doing this with me. Hopefully, you will inspire other people in their job searches. So, Nick, again, where are you going to be working? I see the t-shirt.
Yes, I'll be working on Google search.
Oh, exciting. Okay, Nick, please keep in touch with us. I hope that you don't need my services again because you're going to be great at Google as you were before. Okay, if anyone out there is struggling with their job search, they're not quite sure how to handle it, please grab time on my calendar. It's at gethired.careers. My name is Ilene Rein. I'm an executive recruiter and job search strategist with Pounding Pavement 101. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Eileen.